What's going on YouTube? I'm AJ, and today we're going to do a little bit of a gun comparison between my Staccato CS and my SIG P365 XL. Now this is a comparison I've been asked about quite a bit, enough to the point that I decided maybe just go ahead and do a video on it and put my thoughts on the comparison out there a little bit more readily available. Now, owning these two guns, I don't actually find them particularly comparable. For me, they both follow my carry routine, but they serve very different purposes. On paper, if you look at the specs, they seem similar enough, so I understand why people want the comparison of them. But in actual practical application, the P365 is quite a lot smaller than the CS. It's thinner, it's quite a lot lighter, about 20 ounces for the 365, closer to 25 for the CS. And its slimmer profile carries all the way through from the grip module to the slide. The CS, in contrast, feels like an entire step up in size for a firearm and is more comparable to something like Glock 19 than the micro compact that the P365 is. So first we're going to take it over to the tabletop. I'm going to show you how I have my particular gun set up. Then we're going to take it over to the range. I'm going to give you some hard numbers as far as comparison shooting performance, and then we'll meet back up for our final thoughts on it. Alright, so here's my Staccato CS, running a TLR7 sub because I'm a big proponent that all guns that you actually use, whether offensive or defensive, should have lights on them. We have the Monsoon Genghis Komp. A little dirty because I shoot it. Running a Holosun EPS. This is the full-size model. I just prefer the little bit larger window on it, and it doesn't add a lot of width to the overall profile, especially when you consider the thumb safeties on the pistol. And for comparison, here's my P365. This is a regular length 365 slide with a PMM comp, which brings the overall length the same as a P365 XL. I'm running a Wilson Combat grip module. This is my favorite grip for the P365s I've found so far. Same as the CS, I'm running a TLR7 sub on it. We have flat trigger, and on this one I have the Gowutar HHC-17R that I'm testing, and again, I've actually been very happy with this optic, and it will probably be staying on the gun. So from this angle, the guns look fairly similar in size, and it would be easy to just look at the picture, say they're the same thing, and pick one or the other. That said, once you actually get the guns up next to each other, put them side by side, you'll notice the P365 is much thinner in the slide. It doesn't show up as much in the grip module on video, but I can show you in actual practice. The 365 is a lot smaller. The Wilson grip module has a pretty nice magwell opening, but in actual use it pales in comparison to that on the Staccato CS. From this angle, you get a pretty good idea of how much wider the Staccato is than the P365. So how do they shoot? Well, the P365 shoots well for what it is. The CS shoots well, period. Working at 7 yards into a 6-inch circle, both guns produce similar results, though the CS shot quite a bit softer and was more manageable under recoil, as well as being considerably easier to reload. For 1- and 2-shot strings, the difference is negligible. However, during longer strings of fire, or especially at distance, the CS really started to flex its advantage over the P365.
.536. .332.
This run is indicative of my pace most of the time with the P365, whereas this was more of a Hail Mary run that was not consistently
repeatable.
289. 257. 252.
Alright, so final thoughts on the CS and the 365. Obviously for me, there's room for both of them in the collection as well as the carry routine. Despite the performance difference, they both serve valid purposes in my collection. Living in Texas, being around rather warm weather, having something like P365 that is very light, very slim and compact to carry, while still providing really pretty good performance, is certainly a welcome addition. But for a compact carry gun that performs like a full-size duty gun, the CS is in a completely different league. Now, which one will work best for you, or should you pick one or the other or both? Only you can decide that. But that's my 2 cents on why I have both and the intended purposes in which I use them for. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.